today. Good morning, parents. Good morning, parents, teachers, staff, and distinguished guests. Please join me in congratulating Brebeuf's class. It's been a long ride. Finally, we've arrived at graduation. I find as young people, we have quite a warped perception of time. So many things in our lives seem like forever ago, yet many others feel like yesterday. Grade 9 happened almost 4 years ago, yet still I remember being the new kid on the block. All these people around I didn't recognize, most of them way taller than me, some with beards and mustaches, in a building 3 times the size of my elementary school. They looked like titans compared to us, but after only a few short years, we looked down at the grade 9s like they're the little kids, with us now being titans. Gentlemen, we did it. We crossed the barriers of tests, assignments, essays, and ISUs, all to get to this moment. Now look at you. You're all here, as strong and confident as ever. That should be a testament to what this school has done for you. To me, Brebeuf has never just been a high school, but a brotherhood. While most of us couldn't be more unique with different interests, passions, abilities, and backgrounds, we're all united by our school spirit, a very powerful thing. To think none of this would be possible without everyone in this room today. Our 4 pillars, faith, excellence, tradition, and fellowship, have been a driving force of our school these past few years. But at the end of the day, they're just words. They're the foundation that leads us on the right path, but not the means. Everyone in this room, and I do mean everyone, are the real pillars of Brebeuf. To even attempt to thank you all for what you've done would be an impossible endeavor, because there's only so much I can mention in a 10-minute speech. Nevertheless, I shall try, and I'll begin with the heart of Brebeuf, our teachers. I don't think you can find a group more committed and selfless than our faculty. The countless hours you spend with your students is breathtaking. Planning lessons, grading work, talking to students, phone calls from parents, all of it is a testament to the megastars you truly are. I've had many teachers at Brebeuf, and every single one had the utmost thought and care for their students and their education. School is not just about academics and curriculum. It's also the extracurricular activities that make it shine bright. From prefects to sports to clubs, there's a seemingly never-ending supply of things to do at Brebeuf, and none of it would happen without our teachers. From having fun conversations with Mr. Martinez, finding my creative voice with Ms. Lobienko, to learning how to plug in a cable with Mr. Marazzo. The list of impacts we all have is never ending. I could go on and on, going into further detail about every teacher I've had that's impacted our lives, but it would never be enough. Our teachers are just that special. And I haven't even mentioned the support staff yet, who are out of this world. These men and women work tirelessly to keep Brebeuf running, always putting the students first in everything they do. Our guidance team can be described as no less than angels. When students are down, need support, or want to drop math, they're always there to help. Then there are caretakers, the unsung heroes of Brebeuf. Anything that the school needed to be fixed, cleaned up, or taken care of, they were always there to do it. Then we have our cafeteria ladies, who we thank not only for making all our food, but especially those otherworldly cat cookies. And of course, there are hall monitors, Judith and Shane. You both have a special ability to care for and relate with our students, which not only sets us straight, but helps us set our spirits high. And who could forget our mighty administration team, composed of our various secretaries and led by Mr. Chen, led by Mr. Peacock, Mrs. Butler, Mr. Sanchez, and formerly Mr. Chen, Mr. Niskin, and Mr. Soares. We are incredibly blessed to have these superstars running the school. And my only hope is that future classes get to have you before you're stolen away by another school. Cardinal Carter, I'm looking at you. Then there are families. You are the ones who help bring us into the world. Whether they be our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, or anyone in between, the sacrifices you make are incomprehensible. My grandparents, my nani, you helped make me into the man I am today. The endless care you showed to me as I grew up is something I will treasure as long as I live. Grazie per tutto. Mom and Dad, thank you for all you've done for me. Every time I would fall, you'd be there to pick me back up again. While times were not always easy, you always stood your ground, even when carrying the world on your shoulders. I love you both to the moon and back. Last, certainly not least, on this list of acknowledgements, there's you, the students. You are what makes this class special. All the things we've achieved along the way, all the experiences we've had, leave memories that will last a lifetime. You represent the Brebeuf Brotherhood, something we can all relate to. That brotherhood, however, had humble beginnings. Almost all grade 9 started with the transition program, which bridged the gap between elementary and high school. I entered with some of my friends, Andre, John, and Matthew, and I wondered, how would we adjust to this new life? Well, not only did we get that adjustment we so desperately needed, but we made so many new friends, met so many of our soon-to-be teachers, and understood the look and feel of our new home. And the year started off with a bang, in Skoka Woods, an unforgettable experience. A couple hundred grade 9s bundled with a bunch of senior leaders. How could we not have fun? Remember the campfire songs? The big swing that I made interested in going? Do you remember the endless basketball games, the cabins that seniors thought it would be funny to draw on our faces while we slept? Those are not things you forget. Grade 9 went on, with spirit weeks, sports events, you name it. Grade 11 rolled around, when the house system was fully established, the birth of a legendary competition. As we all know, chose won that year, my personal house, and I can tell you it was one sweet victory. As months went on, we had to take the OSSLT, which was especially annoying considering all the practice we had to do for it, but at least now I can say my grammar is good, way better than it was before. We also had Youth Alopecia Awareness Day, my little addition to the year, which is probably the day you remember for nothing else except for the fact you got a free ice cream sandwich. Then grade 12 happened, where it seems we really got back on track. We continued with almost constant events like Mass, Food Pavilion, DECA, Visa Wellness Wednesdays, with some of us lucky boys getting to go to Spain. We also had a lot of success in sports this year, with the shining highlight being our success at AFSA, thanks to our Student Athletes of the Year, the great Nyan Liscombe and Willie Komei-Ipulin. The start of June was a heck of a time, prom season. Great food, good conversation, and dancing for ages. Despite only being 3 weeks ago, it was still a night to remember. All of these things have not only made us true Rebuffians, but they also transformed us from boys to men. Now you may have noticed I skipped over a minor little thing. An elephant in the room, I guess you could say. COVID-19. Remember that? That thing that kind of changed the whole world for a bit? That's right. Civilization suddenly stopped. Brebeuf had to stop along with it. These were challenging times. While for some of us, those years were a nice break from school, for others, it was akin to torture, as it was for me. School went from being interesting days of seeing friends and talking to people to looking at a screen all day. I'm sure it was a tough year for all of you, and me as well. That was the year I lost my hair and was forced to go bald. It was also when I lost my grandfather suddenly from a heart attack, which felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest. Loss became a regular occurrence for me, and I'm sure it was for a lot of you as well. This, possibly more than any other graduating class, made our high school years way harder than they had to be. If I could press a button to make COVID never happen, I would smash it so hard my hand would bleed. However, we were not defeated, and we made it out to get where we are today. To take from the Gospel of John, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. I know, and everyone we may have lost along the way are looking down, cheering us on from above. They may have been dark times, but there was a lot to learn from them, lessons that I believe will take us into the future. First, I would say is to never take anything for granted. Think about how quickly everything was taken from us in grade 9. In a flash, life completely changed. There are so many things that we love doing, and people in our lives that we love. It's important that we never lose sight of how precious all these things are. I would also say to accept that there are some things in our life that cannot be changed. God has given us many gifts, but by our earthly existence, we've been burdened by challenges. As human beings, but more importantly as God's children, we cannot fixate on the unchangeable. Believe me, I know what this entails. Alopecia's rocked my life for years, but worrying about it will not make my hair grow back. It's not easy, but I implore you to do the same with your problems, because enduring difficult times makes you stronger. Because let's face it, life is difficult. However, if we use that difficulty to bolster our strength, we can become truly unstoppable. Sometimes, facing hard times, playing the cards you're dealt, is the only way forward. Furthermore, we must never forget to keep one man in mind, God. While all of us have a different relationship with Him, we should acknowledge the impact He has, even if seemingly invisible, on our lives. It is the Holy Spirit who guides us through hard times and brings us into the good. As we leave this building, our community, and our home, we must never forget to keep Him ever present in our lives. But still, this is a hard pill to swallow. We are going to leave this school, never stepping back into it again as students, but as alumni. While we may be off to other places like university, college, or something else entirely, there's always something we can take with us along the way, our school mottos. First is Studio Gradium Professional, which translates from Latin, that ancient language you don't understand, to win mere through study. Personally, I've always interpreted that to mean I have to be a smart vocal in order to succeed, but I now realize it means more than that. To study something is to commit to it 100% and to be devoted to a goal. The more I look back into the past and towards the future, my life is made up of goals. This is something you should never forget, to never give up on your goals. They, more than video games, TikTok, or Instagram, are the fruits of true achievement and the key to a successful and fulfilling life. And of course, we have one more motto, men for others. If there's one phrase to encapsulate the kind of people we're meant to be, it would be this one. We are not made to work solely for ourselves. It is not our destiny. We are made to be beacons of light in the world, true leaders who care, love, accept, and respect all of those around them. My fellow Brebeufians, never forget that we are men for others. Say it with me now. Brebeuf, what are we? Men for others. Now go into the world and act like one. Thank you, and God bless you.
On behalf of the entire staff of Brebeuf College, a dedicated and caring group of professionals that I represent today, I would like to congratulate the graduating class of 2023. Please join my colleagues and myself in giving them a round of applause. An event of this size takes much planning, organization, and commitment. To the graduation committee, Mr. DaCosta, and the many teachers and students and administrators who have been involved in making this day a memorable one for our graduates, a sincere thank you. The room that we're in now will remain open for you in case you need to take some pictures. The photos taken of the graduates receiving their diplomas will be available in the foyer. Students should pick up an important envelope in the foyer before they leave. A reminder to all staff to return their gowns at the appropriate coat-check area. Students who receive annual plaques or trophies are asked to return them to Mr. DaCosta before you leave. Thank you all for attending today. Please stand for the procession of the graduates and faculty.